paper and dime.
Cloud. I'm hoping it works. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another podcast, Twigs and Rigs podcast. My name is Jake Will Polly, and I'm joined by
Zach Rosen.
And the other Jacob.
Yes, and today we're going to be going over the NHL draft, a little review on that, as well as NHL free agency this year. So we'll kick it off to Zach to start it off here.
Yeah, give me a moment. Yeah, the draft happened. Obviously,
You sound so excited.
me and Jacob worked on the guide.
Oh,
I
yeah.
looked back at it like a few days ago. I only got 4 picks right in my
I
mock.
don't know if I got any.
It's so
I mean, no,
hard.
you at least got 1.
I did get one.
I got 4. I got what? Celebrini, Siliev, MBN. I believe I got MBN.
I mean, it all got busted after pick 3. So I mean,
Yeah, Anaheim kind of
All
screwed
that busted.
all of us.
Yeah.
And,
No, all that busted after pick 2. We both had Demidov.
oh
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, Demidov should have won second.
Oh, and I had Lindstrom. We both had Lindstrom.
Oh, fair.
yeah, we did.
But it was, I'd say, more interesting than actually like judging the class on strength, because I know a lot of people said it was top heavy. I kind of disagree with that. I do think it's a fairly balanced
Yep.
draft.
Yeah.
There are some
It's
guys
more
that very,
balanced mid. It was a very mid balanced
yeah.
draft all the way through, even to like the third, fourth round. It was pretty. Like the drop off wasn't ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah. I felt like a lot of people were calling this a bad draft, which I felt was a little harsh. But I mean,
not 2012.
yeah, it's not. It wasn't a great draft, but I feel like every year people are like, "Oh, next year's draft is so much better," and then we get to that draft and they're like, "This draft sucks. Next year's so much better." It's like there's a lot of good players.
I don't know if anyone could say that about next year's. Next year's is tasty.
Next year's is definitely very, very interesting. But you just
Oh,
wait.
yeah.
By the time we get there, they'll find a way to downplay it. They'll be like,
That's
"Yeah,
a good point. Yeah,
that James Hagen's
That's
kid's not actually that good."
It'll be Habs fans saying that because they got their golden god,
yeah.
Yeah, already the number 1 prospect in the
which
league.
I'm so fucking pissed about because I really wanted him in Chicago. I wanted him in Chicago just so Habs fans can be angry on Twitter.
Why would he? He would not have gone. He would not have fallen that far.
No, I want him to Chicago at 2.
Yeah, 2.
Oh, Chicago. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago too.
But I mean, it was very interesting. I mean, we saw a few players slide that I honestly like. I see the reason with a few guys who slid, like Cole Eiserman. I kind of understand, but that's his talent is.
I thought Eiserman would slide to like 10th because like at the beginning of the year, people were like, "Oh, he's second best, maybe third." So it's like 10th, 12th, 20th. Did not see that coming. And then
When
like
the Flyers passed on him, people lost their mind in Philly.
Flyers
A lot of people hate that
questionable, but I hope the best for the kid. But that's a very,
I
very
like Lushenko a lot. Like
I know,
He's a
but I
pick.
don't know. I don't know if I would have had him that high.
no, I wouldn't have either. But
Like-
it's not like it's a picking a guy that was going to go in the second round or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I know. It also hurts too because of the guy they could have had. You drop back from 12 to 13 and give Minnesota arguably like a perfect top pair now with him in favor.
Dude, I'm in talks in Dynasty to maybe get Brock Faber tonight. So
Yeah, there was some.
I
really
need it because my defense is only
Yeah.
Thomas Harley and Riker Evans.
Of course, you have Thomas.
So
Harley. But yeah, like Igor Chernyshov falling to the second round was a little surprising. That was really surprising. At least Chernyshov went like early. Artemonov at 50. And then like some other guys like Luke Misa was like the 5th round.
I was shocked by that. I was talking with my buddy who's a scout for the Steelheads. I was like, we both just did not understand why he was.
There has to be some underlying issue people don't know because the talent is. He was one of like a few players who hit 100 points in the CHL, and it's like he should not have fallen that much.
We had him where?
Who was the other
42.
one? I don't. Minnesota, yeah. And then Kivi Haru, the beauty from a couple years ago, all the way to 122nd.
Oh,
I
understand. No, I understand it. I
I
really
do
do.
too. I mean, unfortunately, he just never grew. Staying at 5'10" as a defenseman is really hard, and
I
he
don't
never.
think that's the issue. I think it's
Well, he
more
never
so
got
like when
better.
he got. I see as more of like he got his injury issues, and yeah, he just didn't
Yeah,
progress.
but like
Mhm.
there are so many teams that have the pick volume to take on a chance like that, and he falling to
Oh,
122
absolutely.
is criminal.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I 100% agree. There was some like Buffalo had two fours, 108 and 109, and I was screaming. I was like, "We haven't taken the defenseman yet. Just take a flyer on this guy." And then they traded one of them,
Osborne.
so it didn't even
And you
matter.
guys kind of need that in your prospect pool too.
Yeah, but hey,
You
we
guys took in the fourth round. I'm looking. Oh wait, no, you
oh
took
yeah, don't
Luke
worry.
Osborne.
This is the part that pisses me off so much. We traded back. So Winnipeg traded up when we fell to pick 123, and KV Hardy went at 122, and it's just
Oh god, that might just be the
oh
fucking Braden Point like picture
that
all over
hurts
again.
so
No, that
much.
actually I didn't even see that.
Mm-hmm.
That might be like that Braden Point picture all over
So
again.
there's that one there, and then there's in the second round we kept. I don't remember how we got this second, but this is the fucking Sharks trade when we fell back in the first. We got the additional second, and so we took
Oh yeah, that one.
Adam Kleber at 42nd, and Washington took Cole Hudson at 43. And
Kleber's at least good.
he is, but like
We're
at least
safe, and he's a RHD. You
he
guys
is
need
at least
RHD.
right-handed. But I don't know. It's just like it has the potential. If Cole Hudson looks like his brother, to like not look great.
You guys also got Brody Zeman. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, that one was okay in the
I
third. I
love
can't
that
complain
pick.
about that.
Who else did you pick in the second round? You guys got Simon Pierre Brunette,
Yeah, yeah, that's
the
one of
one
our
that went to Kitty.
prospects, D partners in the queue.
I kind of understand that, but it's the Q. It's kind of a
I
bummer
know.
to see.
Yeah, he's a complete DFD in the queue, so it's like, I don't think they exist. I think
Yeah, that ain't great. I mean, I said that about Ben Danford. Like, he actually put up like half a point per game in the O.
yeah, I don't know. Just a very interesting draft with some players falling as far
Max
as they did.
Coran, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Leading up,
I
to
like
the
Max
draft,
Coran. Yeah, I like at least the fit because Colorado. Like,
yeah.
I'll get into this later, but that team is no good.
Leading up to the draft, I know people had like Henry Muse going like late first, early second, fell all
I
the way down
did.
to third. So I was like, there's just some stuff where it's like really interesting to see some of these picks, and there's some teams got roasted on Twitter for the players they picked. So
Ottawa.
fun. They always do. That it's just a trend.
I don't even think Yak at 7 is the worst thing. I just think their second round pick is probably the worst thing they could have done.
Oh, Gabriel Eliasson, yeah,
Yeah, who likes enforcer defensemen,
I
guys?
know. And you just and right after you had Andrew Basha, Cole Hudson,
Even Julius Mietinen, like
yeah, there's just a bunch of players right there. It's like,
Brunicky.
yeah.
I'm happy that he.
But yeah, I wanna go around different. Well, I'll say different teams. Who do you guys think had the best and worst drafts? Different teams for everyone. We cannot copy.
All right.
Okay.
Whoever
You
thinks of
guys go
one,
first.
just go.
I got the best team. It's got to be the Flames. I think they took positive value at every pick. They took shots that, if it works out, it could speed up their rebuild so much.
As someone who had Perrick as their D1,
Yeah.
yeah,
I loved Perrick. They got Basha in the second. We talked about Luke Misa. They
Breeden.
took a lot of chances on players. And again, if it doesn't work out, you're still rebuilding. It's not a huge deal. But if this works out, they could look so much better.
They also got
Especially,
again Matvey Gridden.
especially compared to last year when they took what was it, Hanzek, and everyone was kind of like, eh. So I definitely think they're my winners.
By the way, I believe Gridden's going to the Q next year.
Probably.
Because I know he was the first pick in the import draft.
Yeah, he'll probably go to the Q then. I know that
So I
happens.
think, yeah, and I think he decommit from Michigan. I know that. But he's a really good goal scorer. Who could they get in the second round? Oh yeah,
Andrew
Basha.
Yeah.
I had Basha going in the first round.
Mm-hmm. So I just think they got plus value across the whole draft. They might not have gotten the best steals in total, but I think just in general they got like the best quantity of players.
Like getting Perrick as well. Like you're getting a number one right-hand D. You can put up points. And his defense is average. It gets overhated a lot.
It does, but
his
it's something you
defense is
can work on.
It's average, but you have a guy like by the time he's there, you'll still have a guy like Uyghur playing. So
yeah.
I mean, Kevin Ball's fine defensively.
It definitely also helps to in like softening the blow of a potential Rasmus Anderson trade, knowing this kid's coming up eventually.
Yeah, and you still have like Brustewicz. Henry Muse is kind of in that mold of right-handed OFD.
Oh, did they take him too?
Yeah, Muse. Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, like all across the board. I just
like their best defensive prospects, I will say, are all like OFD-ish.
Yeah, Jeremy Poirier and Bruce Twix, and there's another one, but they leave
Morin.
Yeah, Morin.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
who actually signed to CFC this week.
There you go. Good for him.
So
yeah, I for worst, I'd have to think about it a little bit. It's kind of a toss up between two teams, but I'll let one of you guys pick.
Dallas isn't either because we only had 3 picks. God. Oh wait, Minnesota. What am I saying? Minnesota.
Is Minnesota for your best or worst?
Best. Oh, best. Definitely best. I mean, you had Z Bume in the first round on a very advantageous trade up. When you think Philly's either they were gonna they had the choice of him, or in my opinion, they should have been him or Yzerman to Philly. But what are you gonna do there? And then you get in the round 2, you get Ryder Ritchie. I thought Ritchie could have won the first round. He had a bit of a disappointing year.
A lot of people thought that,
but he's developing his physical game. Really good shot. I think he's a good player. Who they get in the third? They not have a third. I feel stupid now. Whatever. 4th round. I mean, taking a shot on Aaron Kiviharu.
Yeah, I mean, if it works out and he just becomes like a middle pair puck moving defenseman, it's still a great pick in the 4th round.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of their at least first 3 picks. Like Zeev is the perfect guy to have with Faber. You already have your 1D already. And you have Jonas Brodin who's still there, Jared Spurgeon's still there. I know they have Carson Lambos as a guy who's coming up soon. Someone else. It's not Jack Pert. There's another guy I'm thinking of.
They do have Jack Parrott, but
yeah, I know, but he's kind of.
I'm trying to think of who their fucking team is at this point.
No. They have another D-man somewhere.
But
Ryan O'Rourke could be an NHLer. Damon could be an NHLer. Like they're just good at drafting. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at their picks over the years, they always seem to be a team that comes out in like the top 5, 6.
One of their prospects this year who's in the O is going back to Finland. Kumpalainen.
Yes.
Wait, no, is it him?
I believe it is Rasmus Kumpalainen.
It was him or yeah, I think it was him. It wasn't Petrovsky, who they did not sign, which is very strange. But I mean, when you have Judd Brackett as your head scout, I mean,
yeah,
he drafted all those guys in Vancouver. Like, he drafted Pedersen. I'm pretty sure he was the guy that literally advocated to pick Pedersen because that was still when Jim Bennett was there. So, by the way, I saw someone, a Vancouver fan say, "Please, Edmonton, hire Jim Bennett. Please do it."
They have to get they need to do something stupid now because whoever this guy is too good.
No, apparently Jeff Jackson doesn't want the full-time job.
I don't care if he doesn't want the full-time job. I need him to quit like yesterday.
You need him to quit before that trade. Exactly. I'm trying to think of worse. Also, Jacob, you still need your best.
Yeah, I'm good whenever you guys are ready.
I mean, what's your best right now? I can say that.
Yeah, Sharks.
Fair.
I think with the prospect pool that they have right now, they've got some really really good sleeper guys like Casper Holtonen is a guy I really think could come out of the woodworks and be a superstar for them on the wing, especially with his size, shot, and everything like that. They got Musty, they got a couple other guys, but now they picked up guys that are they got some guys that need some work, and they got some guys that could jump in and play really well. Like they got Carson Wetch, who's pretty solid. Colton Roberts, he's a really good defenseman, who brings size and grit, which is part of what they need. Salim Wallenius, who is also a fantastic puck moving Swedish defenseman who's really big.
Yes, I
He could
love
be
that
really good
pick.
on their blue line as well. They took care of that. They got Nate Miskey, who is also, I think he was on my steals or safe pick. I forget which one he was. Um, but yeah. Oh, and then they went and got Chernyshov in the second round.
First pick of the
So
second,
yeah, they
and they have Dick.
they really did make. Oh, and Sam Dickinson
I
and
like
obviously
Dick.
Celebrini.
Right. So it's they really took care of everything they needed. I think they
Mhm.
built well. They're built already the makings of a really good defensive core. They've got a lot of guys that have high chances to hit. They've got some guys who they're really banking on, from what I'm looking at, they're really banking on Dickinson being their primary puck moving defenseman for the future, unless
Just
they
a
pick up
straight up
somebody next.
1G because he's better defensively.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think he'd be a perfect top pairing guy
Mhm.
who can move the puck around a little bit. But I think that they built their defensive core, at least the framework of it so far, with guys that are more likely to hit than not, which is
Yeah.
what people have been complaining about forever. So yeah, I think they did that. I think they know where their strengths are. They know they're strong down the middle, so they didn't go for any,
Mhm.
centers down the middle. They know their weaknesses, and they addressed it. I don't really know. I think it's really cool that they were obviously one of the worst teams ever, and now I think within a year or two we'll see them actually be. People are going to hate on this take, but I think they're going to be aggressive. They're going to be aggressive soon when Musty, Holton, and Smith
Mhm.
and Celebrini all come into their own, especially with supporting cast like Chernyshov,
Zetterlund.
guys like that, and their defensive core becomes hard to play against. And if they bring up, do they have any goalies? I don't even remember.
I don't think so. That's
Either
like their
way, they
weakness is just their goalie pool.
yeah.
It's
Teams can always trade for goalies. Like that's never the biggest issue,
yeah.
but I mean
Blackwood's
that can be fixed.
Blackwood's good for for last year what they had. Blackwood's
Yeah.
a good goalie. Like
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to say addressing needs wise, and with players that have a high potential to hit. Yeah, San Jose is my pick for sure.
I like Dick. Don't quote
All
that
right,
out.
bro.
All right, we get it. Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think you're 100% right. I think sometimes it's easy to overlook because they had the first pick. Obviously, they should have a good draft. But when you look at like pick 10, they got a steal. I had Dickinson like fifth.
he
Chernyshov
reminds me a
should have went.
lot of Jacob Slavin.
Yeah, Chernyshov should have went in the first. So getting him
Mhm.
33rd is huge. And then just like a ton of great secondary picks. The D in the second round, a
Celine
couple of the
Millennials.
other ones. Yeah, just overall a great draft.
Millennials could genuinely be like a mid to high end second pair guy.
Yeah, like this
I
is one of
look
those
at
drafts
right
that
now, the Sharks blue line, like their blue line prospects at least. Dickinson, Cagnoni, Saline Wallenius,
Mhm.
Shakir Makumadulin. If you count Henry Thrun in there, because he had a really rough year.
Yeah.
Those are all really good. Those are all
Are
really
they all
good.
And Colton
left-handed?
Roberts and Miskey. I really
Thank
think
you.
those two can be NHLers. They
Like,
won't
yeah,
be
the
top
rest are really
top four.
good.
Yeah.
Obviously, you still have vets like on that team right now. Mark Edward Vlasic is getting paid till he's 40.
Those are
And
good
you add,
players.
I'm just going to have to say this now. You add Jake Wallman to that as well.
I forgot they got.
Oh
I forgot they
yeah.
got him.
Never mind. They're probably going to be their primary puck mover, I think, for right
Yeah.
now.
Until
For
Dickinson's
right
there.
now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
until Dickinson gets there.
what? Like, I will admit this. Before this draft and before like after the Timo Meyer trade and after the Carlson trade, I was not a fan of Mike Greer.
Yeah.
Boy, has he turned it around.
Yeah, the draft is always hard. I hate to give all the credit to the GMs because a lot of it's scouting, but like the Wallman trade was just smart. You got him and a free second. I still don't understand the Barkley Goudreau thing, but whatever. The Toffoli signing's gonna, at least it gives them a good middle six winger for when all these kids
It
come
gives
up.
them a guy to pair with Celebrini and
It's going to be really interesting to see, not this year, but next year if he's still there, what he does or how he improves this team as they get better. Because you can't just keep bringing up kids.
Yeah.
Musty, Celebrini, Smith, Eklund. They're going to need help eventually. So
that's the thing. That's my thing
gosh,
right now.
Eklund and Bordelot too. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they got
my
Thomas
thing right
Bordelot
now.
on it.
That's why it's so tough to judge a guy like Kyle Davidson right now because you're still in that rebuild phase.
Yeah,
I wanted you need to see how they do when they're especially contending.
As a fan of a team who went through another mini rebuild, some GMs look great trading away players. They struggle acquiring players. The Sharks are in LA and they are a historically pretty decent team, so they shouldn't have an issue getting players to go there. But it will be interesting to see how they flip some of these assets in a couple years to improve the team instead of just waiting for them all to like make the team, because you can't do that.
I will say this for my draft winners, I was almost very tempted to say the Islanders.
Islanders
I don't hate
had a
that.
good draft.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I wouldn't
Yzerman,
put
like your first three picks being
but...
Yzerman, Polkin, and Camille Bednarik.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're definitely in the top like 10 for me.
They also
I don't
get
know.
Marcus as well.
Who? Yeah, let me look.
Miguel Marcus.
No, they did not. That was Nashville.
Nashville.
Nashville had a really good draft.
Nashville struck it out of the park.
Nashville had just a great 2 weeks.
Yeah, because Barry Trotz is good at everything he does in hockey.
Yeah, well, you know what, Barry Trotz, leave. Go to a different sport.
I'm trying to think.
I got a 2-way tie for the worst team. I'll pick one in case one of you guys picks the other. I'm gonna go with the Leafs. I think some of their trade backs were really bad. They could have had somebody like Solberg or whoever, or they could have just took EJ Emery and
I'm not high on Solberg, but yeah.
They traded all the way back to 31st to take a guy who probably isn't who they wanted. They had no second. They had no third. They traded their fourth or fifth to the Florida Panthers for next year's instead of it was just such a stupid trade. And then all of their depth picks were kind of just really out there.
The very Brad Tree Living draft.
Yeah, none of them look great, especially with some of the guys that were on the board. And you're like, well, you could have took a swing at this or something. I know they didn't have a ton of picks, but overall, just for a team that doesn't have prospects, you kind of didn't really add a whole.
Yeah, what are you talking about? They have the savior, Fraser Minton.
Fraser, you mean Easton Cowan?
Yeah, but
it's hard to judge a team that only has 5 or 6 picks and only one of them's a high pick. But no, you look at the Flames later round picks, and they were all trying to take a swing on somebody. And you just look at the Leafs ones, and it just seemed like they took nothing but safe picks that don't look great. Yeah, very, very reminiscent of the Flames when Fucknuts was there. Which is funny. Now he's in Toronto doing the same shit, acquiring the same bad players.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Nashville had a great draft. I'm looking through all of them right now.
Yeah, Nashville
got Jaeger that was a reach, but Jaeger was a reach a little bit. But Teddy Stiga, Vigo Gustafsson, Marcus, and then Hiroki. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he is phenomenal. Love him. Jacob Milota, he's great. I don't know Victor Noringer, and Eric Poulsen is very good. I think Nashville had a spectacular draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Your worst was, sorry, I don't want to say the same one again, but
my worst was Toronto.
You did, yes, right. Okay. Is Zach lagging by any chance?
I
Oh,
think
he's gone.
Zach just
Okay.
straight up left. Oh, it's
All right.
okay, Zach.
I guess it's me then. Yeah, I had Vancouver as the
Very
worst.
fair. Yeah.
I think Vancouver had picks to. I like Melvin Fernstrom. I do, but I think that there was definitely better value. They didn't have a lot of picks, so it's hard to really judge them too harshly. But I don't like the picks they made.
Mm-hmm. No,
I
I
like the
agree.
players. I don't like where they got them.
He picked
Which
Vancouver.
team?
Is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know much about their draft.
Hard part is
Yeah, they got
not a ton of picks, and some of the guys they
hold
took
on.
just like felt like there was better options there.
Yeah, I'll run through
hmm.
them. They had Melvin Fernstrom, Riley Patterson, Anthony Romani, Parker Elkos, and Basile. I don't know who that is, but yeah. I mean, I like Fernstrom a lot. I think he's a great winger, bottom sixer. But you get him, you get you. That's your first pick. I think there's definitely better swings there. Riley Patterson, he's a bit of a safer pick, but I don't like the value there. And Romani, he's a solid pick, but like I don't know.
Overager as well,
I
right?
feel like they left a lot out on the table.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
For
He's an
sure.
overager as well, right? Romani.
What is that?
Romani. Romani's an overager as well,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
The big reason he didn't go last year was his skating issues.
Oh, actually, hold on. Who's
So
shout out
who
to
knows?
Utah.
Also, a quick.
I'm actually very tempted to
I
say,
think a
but
very.
I'm not going to. I'm gonna say.
What is that?
I think I'm going with Anaheim.
You know what? That's very fair.
It is.
For the worst?
Maybe not. Oh God, I'm trying to think. Because this is
For the
tough,
worst
man.
is a little crazy.
Yeah. Utah.
I don't know
I
if I
think
can
I'm
go that
going
for the worst.
Edmonton.
You know what? That's a
I think
decent
I'm gonna
shout
go
out.
to the Oilers.
I think the
Okay.
trade up for Sam O'Reilly was pretty stupid.
I don't think you needed to. I don't think you needed to. I think he was gonna be there with their pick.
Yeah, he's a really
Like I
safe,
like Sam O'Reilly.
like bottom six
There's a
player, but
lot of
that's just not a guy you take in the first round, though.
no. Yeah, I don't think he's bottom
No,
sixer. I think he'd be
he's
like
gonna slot
the
right
middle
into
six
the
guy.
cloud. He's gonna slot right in from a cloud, like right in from a cloud.
Well, not
Yeah.
for
They're the
a
same
couple
player.
years at least, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna be the
Like they
same
got
player.
I like the Emil Vinny but the trade up was rough for him.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
trade up was rough. And then like I like Emil Vinny a lot. Potentially their
Wakely's
goalie of the
solid.
future.
Wakely's really good.
Depends what you think of Stuart Skinner. Uh,
yeah,
but like the other picks were late picks, obviously. So I don't
yeah.
know
Hard to judge
too
some of
much.
them. I do like
Like
the
passing up, but like here's the thing: passing up on a guy like Christian Humphreys till the seventh, like you could have
yeah.
just taken him.
Yeah, they could have
Like
taken him. I mean, Max Swanson fell all the way to the seventh round. There's a lot of players that
yeah,
I feel should have went a lot earlier, and teams just didn't want to take them. And it seems to
yeah,
always be the same teams who do take them, and they just get good players consistently. So,
yep. Great job, Colorado. I'm gonna have to live with. Oh,
I do like the Wakely pick.
but yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of the Clattenburg pick, but again, once you get past
I
the
don't know much
fourth
about
round,
him.
it's such a crapshoot that it's kind of like
Take more
maybe they've
as
seen more
Friedman,
about him.
as Friedman and Merrick have said on 32 Thoughts recently. Throw a dart.
Yeah, unless somebody's fallen
Throw a
that like
dart.
you really really love, just kind of take a shot. But yeah, the trade up to get O'Reilly
Also, shout
was
out
probably the
Utah.
biggest
I was
fall.
not. Also, shout out Utah. Was not the biggest fan of their draft
Not at all.
outside of Tidge. Outside of
Shouldn't have
Tidge, like
taken Tidge. Should not have taken Tidge. Perrick was right there. That would have solidified your blue
yeah,
line
they need.
offense forever. Forever.
Yeah, I guess they knew they were making two trades, like getting Sergachev and getting
and then Cole Beaudoin, and then Cole Beaudoin.
Yeah, but like you're still not addressing your points from the blue line. You're really not. You still don't have. I mean, Sean Durzee's great, Sergachev's great, but neither of them I would trust. Okay, this is my power play quarterback for the next 5-6 years. Like I don't see any of them like that. And their guy was sitting right there. Right now, they just drafted Tej, and I like Tej a lot, but I don't see him. I see him fighting for a spot as where Perrick would have just solidified himself as the number one defenseman.
Yeah, in the top 10 for sure. I think there was a couple
I wouldn't say
players
he's just fighting for a spot, but I would say his role on the team right now, I don't think is as defined as Perrick's would have been because he's exactly what they needed. They passed him. Yeah. I don't like that.
No, I agree with you. When you look at their forward core with Schmaltz, Cooley, Gunther, Keller, Tej might be their fourth best guy in the future. Michelli. When you could have got your I forgot about Michelli.
And you could have got coming up.
Could have got your easily your power play quarterback.
Yep.
Maybe they have a lot of faith in Durzi. I don't know. They did just give him a pretty big extension. What was it, like $6 million for 4 years?
4 years, $6 million, yeah.
Yeah, and then they get Sergachev. So maybe they just looked at it and said, we don't need him. But, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, that was the draft. I had a lot of fun watching it. I really did. The Sphere looked sick.
It looked amazing on TV. I can't imagine what it was like in person.
Oh God, yeah. It's a wonder of the world. Thank you, James Dolan. That's the one thing
I want to give one more shout out to one team. It's not really fair. They didn't have a crazy good draft. Their first 3 picks were amazing, and then everything else sucked. But I think Montreal had 2 different drafts. They had a great draft and then just a complete. What are you doing?
Demidov, Hage, and then who was their other?
Koivu.
Oh yeah, Otus.
Not a great pick, but just having him.
Yeah, unlike Bronny James, it's not a nepotism pick.
Whoa, yeah. Let's. He is a million times better than Bronny James.
Oh, absolutely. Oh no, yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I just
I was a big fan of the Otus Koivu pick. I like
the first round was so good for them that they could throw away the rest of the draft, which basically they did because some of these picks I'm looking like I think you just pulled names out of a hat. But you know when Demidov falls in your lap because 2 teams in front of you want to pick size, what are you gonna do?
Also, one more shout out, Colorado picking 3 goalie.
They picked the first goalie, right? They took Nabokov,
who's really good.
Great.
He's 21, but he's really good.
It doesn't matter. He is so good. His stats are so crazy that
he won KHL MVP.
Yeah,
being 21 might honestly be a big benefit.
He's closer to being NHL ready than taking.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Utah for taking World Junior Championship legend.
Owen Allard.
Oh
God.
Yeah.
How he made the team, we don't know, but he got drafted because of it. So good for you, kid.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the draft. Now to free agency in the off season. I did not have a good time.
Don't worry, none of us did. Did Philly draft?
Jacob's fine. I mean,
I was quite pleased. More than I thought I was.
Philly
lucky bastard.
To be fair,
I was not happy. I'm just going to go over some of the trades.
Oh, I missed this. When did Pittsburgh sign
outside of the Markstrom one? PLD 1-for-1 for Darcy. As someone who thinks PLD can bounce back,
yeah.
And then they picked up Logan Thompson.
Trade.
And then the Caps got Logan Thompson. So
for almost like 2/3?
Yeah, something like that. But apparently Thompson requested a trade.
I guess if he was going to be stuck behind Aiden Hill, it makes sense.
I don't think he was. That's the thing. I don't think he was.
But I don't know. If he wasn't, then I would have done everything as a.
I think the reason he went to Washington, I saw something like his wife does work in Washington or something like that. So.
Yeah, the Dubois trade's really the most interesting out of all the ones Washington made because it has the potential to make or break their future. If Dubois bounces back.
Yeah, I kind of I disagree because you didn't really mortgage any future.
No, getting rid of Darcy Kemper was a big dub, but I mean, with his cap hit though, if he is just a 50-point player,
I mean, if he's playing on the first line,
it could. Yeah, I don't think he will though. I think that's Strome's position. I think he's just going to be a 2C there. Oh, and Zach died again.
I think Leonard is going to come out and surprise people eventually as a center.
I could see it.
If Ryan Leonard, but then Dubois your third line center. Oh God.
I love 8.8.
I don't know. I could see moving Strome to wing. Strome's got wing.
Yeah,
I mean, Strome also has
a
great contract.
McMichael, Lapierre, SCs. So
Mangiapane for a second was a good pickup. Maybe a little overpaid, but then you basically got your second back for trading a fourth.
And you got Chychrun for.
And then you got Chychrun for Nick Jensen. So I think they definitely did a tidy bit of business. Will it be enough to make them an actual contender?
I think they're a playoff team.
They're a playoff team. I just don't think they're a contender.
I agree. I want to see what Dubois does. If he's going to be on the first line to start the year. Here's the thing. In my opinion, the Caps leadership will not let him pull what he's done.
Yeah, we thought the same thing in LA, though, with how much of a tough ass.
Kopitar's really the only leader there. Doughty's kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think the leadership in Washington gets overvalued a bit. But
I don't. You have Ovi and you have John Carlson, and if TJ Oshie stays,
yeah, we'll see. They are over the cap, I believe, so they have to do something.
Yeah, that's why they bought cap friendly guys. And then another big trade, Linus Ullmark to Ottawa for Korpisalo, Mark Kostelic, and I'm just gonna say it now, Dean Letourneau.
Yeah, a first that became Letourneau. Seeing that first and what it became is now that trade is such an L for Boston.
I don't know, because here's my thing. If Letourneau hits, because he's so raw, he's going to take like 4 years. But if he hits his upside, which his upside is like actually Tage Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, if it does, unfortunately for Boston, it just might be too late by then.
Yeah. But
Mark
Kostelic's the 4C, and apparently Korpisalo's going to have to compete for the backup job with Brendan Bussey.
I would, if he's not your backup and he's just dead weight, this trade makes even less sense. But hey,
I thought it would be like Anton Forsberg heading back because you need to give them a backup.
Yeah, honestly for Ottawa to get Ullmark and get rid of Korpisalo, even if it's retained for just the first, essentially, is such a tidy bit of business that can't really complain.
Some other deals, Jake Wallman a second.
Boston has just no idea what their future is going to look like.
You have Patra and Liesel and Letourneau, and that's really
that is not a future.
That is not a future.
And Swayman,
yeah. But Swayman's already playing.
Yeah, and he
needs a contract. Carlo and McAvoy are getting older. Not old, but they're
they're on the clock. They're on the clock.
Yeah, by the time those guys, like you said, if Letourneau takes 4 years to turn into a player close to Tage Thompson, that's great. But now you're past McAvoy.
Now you're stuck in
30s.
Yeah.
What's probably going to happen is they're going to trade him for a center or something at the deadline.
Oh wait, I forgot they have Lindholm now. I always keep forgetting.
Yeah, he's bad.
And then
they'll probably trade them.
One of the day 2 trades, Mikhail Sergachev for JJ Moser, Connor Geekie, 25-second, 24/7.
Yeah, big trade.
I've come at Jacob. I think you both know this. I'm not the biggest Connor Geekie fan in the world.
Yeah, I think Arizona
the biggest issue with him is his play driving, and for a power forward center, kind of big.
Yeah, I think Arizona fans / Utah fans overrated him. Mostly that Mike Gold guy, because he is fucking stupid. If you ever see this, just know I'm your biggest hater. Connor Geekie
true, but okay.
Connor Geekie is just okay. Getting Moser back's not bad. At least it's cheap for Arizona. here's the thing too: getting McDonough back means Sergachev was almost expendable. I know he's old, but with Hedman and him now, and now Moser on the left, it's cheaper. They got Gensel basically because of it. I know they lost Stamkos, but
it's a really tough.
It's a tough one. If they would have kept Stamkos, I would have think this trade was a slam dunk for Tampa, but losing him still is a huge L.
I mean, hey, Hedman might get the captaincy now. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting thing also to look at is now Tampa has, I think, 3 seconds for next year with their own, the one from Arizona and the one from LA for Janelle. So they definitely have a lot of assets at the deadline to make a move.
Getting a second for Tanner Janelle is kind of crazy. Shout out Jacob's jersey of Tanner Janelle.
Not having to attach a cap dump. When the trade dropped, I thought it was Janelle in a second to get rid of him. But hey, teams love grit, as we can see by Janelle getting a second and Beck Mallenstein getting a second. So if you have a fourth liner, don't worry, some team wants them.
I also feel like they were not going to, for the price that they paid for Janelle, I feel like they were not going to release him for anything shorter than that.
Oh, absolutely. They had to get something that
something of value.
Yeah, exactly.
And although I think you're right, they have the 3 picks in the second round. I think they're going to be looking to pick up crumbs in the second because it's a stacked draft.
Yeah,
and they have a brutal pool.
What was I going to say? The other trades, shout out Jacobs Penguins, Kevin Hayes in a second. Have fun with a play killer.
Hey, don't forget about John Marino.
He is a play killer. Holtz and Schmid for Paul Cotter.
That is such an L for New Jersey. I don't know what they're thinking.
Fun fact, Paul Cotter would have led the Devils in hits last year and would have had the franchise record.
Whoa, what a great stat, New Jersey. You gave up one of your best prospects.
I mean, these aren't big, but I'm just going to touch on them. Matthew Joseph and a third for future considerations. The thing is, I actually like Matthew Joseph. I don't think you needed a third to get off that contract.
Ottawa was so desperate to get out of it that they just
and then you look at the other trades to St. Louis, and then you compare it. Radek Faksa, who has trade protection, by the way.
Yeah.
And Joseph doesn't.
Yeah,
and one of them takes a third to get off.
But isn't Fox's only like 5 teams?
One, it's like 6, but yeah, he's got a year left.
Yeah, Joseph has 2, so I guess
Bobby Fabry to Anaheim. Yeah.
Hey, don't forget Riley Smith to New York.
Oh yeah, I love that. Oh yeah. And then Jacob's favorite trade. Ryan McLeod and Tyler Tullio to Buffalo for Matt Savoy.
Oh,
I actually like what Buffalo's done for most of the offseason. Like, I actually do.
It's an improvement. I can't hate the trade because I've been telling them to get better. It just feels like trading your arguable best prospect for a younger 3C with issues isn't the one you wanted them to make. Especially when
they were better.
Yeah. You what? You think they have better prospects?
You guys have better prospects.
Maybe. I had him as the number 1, and then
I had him as the second.
I think
probably
would have had
Kulich.
Yeah, I have Kulich third. I'm not as big of a fan. I think
really?
I have Östlund second.
I like that. You know what? Yeah. I like that.
I like that Östlund, but they got better. Like
I'm not going to complain because they're better. I just feel like the GM now feels that he has to make a move, and they're overpaying to make some of them. Trading.
I said this when I saw the trade. This reeks of desperation to get back to the playoffs.
Trading a high prospect for a third liner, trading a high second for a fourth liner, and then going out and getting 2 fourth liners in free agency. Like, the whole bottom 6 is revamped, especially with Jason Zucker. But like, if you don't make the playoffs, it doesn't look good.
Side note: UPL did file for Arter.
Yeah, so did Beck. So we'll see. He's got a ton. The biggest trade they made that I hated was the trade back in the draft.
Yeah,
trading from 11th to 14th. As much as I disliked Hellenis at first, and now I've kind of come around on him. the fact that Dickinson was there and so was Zeev, I don't care how many lefty we have, that would have been
Doesn't
way
Zeev have
better.
right, and doesn't Zeev at least have right D flexibility?
Hey, yeah,
He doesn't.
it
Okay.
just especially looking at our forward prospects. I mean, we just named 4 of them now, and our D prospects, on the other hand, are so bad.
Here's the thing: Ryan Johnson kind of proved he can be in the NHL last year.
Kind of, but after him, it's like Maxim Stribik, who's in
Starbuck, who's at MSU.
And he's
I
like,
like Sherlock. He'll be
I like
a
Sherlock a
good
lot, too.
bottom pair.
he's a good bottom pair, but like that being your top 2 defensive prospects for the future doesn't really smell as good when you have.
Wait, actually, hold on. Wait. Fun fact. My boss for next year, because I got promoted. Well, not officially yet, but I have a really, really good chance of getting promoted with the Flyers next year. My boss, her brother is Matthias Samuelsson.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, I was waiting until I called you, Zach,
Love
at
Matthias
some
Samuelsson.
point to tell you that. So, yeah. So,
Big
her
fan of
name's,
Matthias Samuelsson.
yeah, her name's
dude.
Alexandra Samuelsson. I go in for the interview, and she's like, well, it's not even an interview. We're just talking, and she was just like, yeah, I've been around hockey like my whole life. Like my brother's in the NHL. My other brother's like my dad played. My brother
Yeah,
was
because his
and I'm
dad's
like,
old.
who's your brother? And she's like, and I'm like, wait, does your brother play on the Sabres? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my god, like
that is so cool.
I love Matthias Samuelsson. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Trade him to Dallas, please. We need competent defense.
No, he's going to Philly for Joel Farabee.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing.
They would do that.
I'm just gonna touch on a few of the signings. First one because this touches home to me because obviously what the Stars have done.
Oh yeah, I have the whole sign. Zach does not like the Stars signing. So
I hate it.
For the people who don't know, he hates the Duchesne signing the most.
Hey, shut up.
I love Duchesne.
I love Duchesne.
Yeah.
I know you're joking. Fuck you.
I know you don't hate the Dumba signing, which is fair.
Here's the good thing is it's 2 years.
Yeah, I mean
that's the big thing is that Neil didn't throw out term.
Yeah. Now he did throw a term with the next guy.
Let me say this about Dumba. I think there's like at least a decent shot he bounced backs ish.
Yeah, I even if he doesn't, I don't think he got a ton of money. So if he's just your bottom pair,
3.75.
He got 3. I thought it was 2.75. Never mind. Your GM sucks.
The next one, Ilya Labushkin. Look, there's a lot of Stars fans in my group chat. Shout out you guys. I know you guys are coping with the Labushkin one because he actually looked really good in the playoffs on the first pairing. So maybe if he's with Miro, it's a Roman Polak situation where he carries the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Where he looks like a competent NHL defenseman.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, look, it's an element the Stars needed. The Stars were like, I believe, the second to last team in like hits last year. So they definitely needed some guys who are aggressive.
Yeah, you just hate it being overpayments for them.
I hated the guys we got.
Yeah, you can get physicality.
Like, you could have gone, like, here's the thing. Matt Roy, I'm not throwing 7 years at him. I'm not.
Fair. Yeah.
Like, Chris Tanev, not throwing 6 years at him. I love the guy.
Yeah. That Toronto fucking.
From what the reports I've seen, the Stars offered the same amount of money just for 3 years.
Apparently, he would have taken 4.
Yeah, I'm not going that far with the 34 year. I'm sorry. I saw the decline with Ryan Suter and Joe Pavelski this year. I'm not taking that chance.
It happens so fast. Like, people keep saying, well, X play, like Pavelski played till he was this. And it's like, yeah, but he still fell off.
Yeah,
like,
Pavelski did not have the best year this year. Like, I love the guy.
These guys, you can't predict when they fall off, and giving term is always a hard thing.
And then the other star signings, Brendan Smith, 1 by 1.
Whatever. Yeah.
Really, whatever. He's a 7. He's probably going to be the 7th defenseman because I think
probably be the 7th D/13th forward because I know he used to play bottom, like 4th line.
He did play forward this year too. Like because I think he's gonna be 70/34 because I think Liam Bixel is probably cracking the opening night lineup.
Probably.
So, and then the backup is DeSmith, 3 years, 1 mil. That is what it was because I got very confused when the contract got reported.
Yeah, that's not bad. Anything
I mean,
relatively
it's a
cheap.
wash between him or Wedgwood.
Yeah, anything relatively cheap for
From
a
what
backup's whatever.
I've delved into his analytics a bit. Like he's good 5v5. He's just god awful in PK, but Vancouver's PK was just not good.
Yeah.
So it's really whatever to me. I mean, like it's a backup goalie. When's Remy Poirier gonna be ready? You know?
Yeah, and it's only 1 mil. If you've got to waive them, it's not a huge deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the Stars later in the offseason signed Colin Blackwell, which I'm actually a big fan of.
Yeah, as much as the Lyubushkin signing might be a head scratcher, we've seen now in the last 3 years he went from Toronto, signed in Buffalo for 2 years, got traded to Anaheim, got traded back to Toronto. Yeah. Yeah, he played a whole year in Buffalo and then got traded last offseason to Anaheim.
Tell me, Bear.
But the thing is, he has value. So at worst, you play him this year and you trade him. So
yeah,
it is easily
I don't know.
not the
It's
worst
really
contract.
weird. It's very interesting. Jacob, you want to speak on the Penguins?
Yeah, I got a few minutes before I gotta go, but yeah, I like the Penguins' moves a lot. I think I've been a huge Matt Grzelcyk fan for a while, so I think he's gonna bounce back. I know people didn't like him last year, but it was a whole new system he had to deal with, and he's gonna get a new system again, and I think he'll bounce back really well. I think the Penguins' speed is speed moving the puck at least is going to help him a lot. I think he's a player that rounds out the bottom six really well, and if need be, play up in the top four. If he my bad, not bottom six, bottom pair, and if he needs to play up in the top four, he can. So I think that'll be really good. I really, really, really like the Anthony Beauvillier one, especially considering the fact that he has done nothing but kill my franchise.
That's
Ever
not
since
the one I was a big fan of. The one signing I was a big fan of from you guys was the Lizotte one.
I like, yeah. I was about to get, yeah. I like him as well. I think he brings an element to the fourth line that we really need. I think he's got some scoring. I think he's got some grit that we really need. Speed. He's a small guy. I think he's a guy that the whole city's going to really really rally around, especially like the really big fans. They're going to really love that guy. I'm not a big hater of the Kevin Hayes trade. I think it bumps down Lars Eller to be one of the better fourth line centers in the league. I think he's phenomenal. Um, I think Kevin Hayes brings scoring, which is the biggest issue that we had. I know he's not a great defender. I know he's not fast. I know he's going to have his off games, but there were stretches of like 30 games where our entire third line had off game. So I'll take a couple off games from Kevin Hayes if he's going to contribute at all, offensively. That what I know he can contribute. And the biggest thing also was like our guys are getting so much older. Like Crosby, Malkin, they're getting older. They're going to eventually, knock on wood, I'll knock on some right now, that they're going to stay healthy again this year, because we went like 2 straight years of them being healthy at their age. And if for some reason they get hurt, Kevin Hayes, he's not the greatest to fill in, but he's significantly better than any other option that we had at that
I
point.
think Jaeger has a shot to crack one as well.
Yeah, but not as a center yet. I think he'll be a winger just purely because of his size right now.
Yeah.
And his four-way mobility
And
still.
keeping Ned. Forgot to bring that
Yeah.
up. Keeping Ned.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
Ned,
contract is insane.
that was huge for us, and I think they're also kind of banking that way on Jari getting hurt and Blomqvist coming up and getting some minutes. But either way, I think our goalie system looks great right now.
Murashov over in Russia.
Yeah, and Murashov, exactly. So like
he was at Dev Camp too, by the way.
I didn't even see that. But yeah, I really like all of the moves that they made. I was not upset with any of them because I think they all address.
You like the draft. I mean, you also like the draft. I know that.
Oh yeah, I was a huge fan. I was not a huge fan of Tanner Howe and Brunick at the time. I did text Zach that I wasn't very happy about that, considering some of the guys
that were. Brunick. I wasn't the biggest fan of Tanner Howe.
I love.
See,
Tanner
I like them both now. I'm going to think about it. Like, those are going to be transition players during rebuilds, and that's what they were going for. They were going for readiness rather than banking on upside, which honestly I don't hate. I've come around to that
Good
idea considering the
way
fact
to rebuild the prospect pool first.
yeah, and
That's
I think what really I liked at the end was getting Max Swanson in the back
Yeah.
half.
Uh-huh.
That really made me feel like, okay, you know what? They're taking some chances. They're not just completely going safe. You know, Max Swanson's 5'7", but I've been a fan of him for about a year and a half before he was even looked at. So I'm very happy with that. I think the Pietolas, we have two Pietolas now, I think, or three or something like that. But like those guys look pretty good. Um, I like the way our roster is going to look next year, as long as once again, knock on wood, that Crosby
everyone
and
stays
Malkin
healthy.
continue to do well, and I really like the way that Carlson and Pedersen looked in that international tournament. So I think it'll be a good year. We
I
who
don't know if that's going to be a playoff team. That's like my big thing.
and that's
Yeah.
valid, perfectly fair. I think we're going to be. I think we easily would have been a playoff team last year if our power play wasn't the one of the worst in the entire league. I think we would have been a playoff team last year because we lost so many games by like one or two,
Yeah, you had
and
that like
even
0 and
games that
0
we
for
lost by
45
one, we
stretch.
gave up a brutal shorthanded goal on. So the power play broke us last year,
Yeah, that
and I
brutal 0 for
genuinely think
41 ish stretch.
yeah, if we have like the 15th best power play, we are going to be a playoff team. That's what I think. But yeah,
Okay.
do you guys want to touch on anything else? Because I got to head out.
Really it. Is that
I just wanted to shout out Seattle for signing 2 really bad contracts, and the Leafs for signing 2 really bad
who
contracts.
was the second
Yeah,
one? I know you're gonna bring up Montour. Who was the second one?
Oh,
Chandler
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
No, the
Oh,
Montour
yeah.
contract wasn't even that. I'm gonna say it's bad. The Stevenson one's really bad.
See, I
Stevenson.
think it's a bad
Brutal.
fit. I don't think it's the worst contract. I just think it's the wrong team for him.
I just think it's a lot of money for a guy who might be your 3C.
And you need to extend
Especially with that term, no one's going to take that.
No.
7 years.
Yeah.
It's a bad fit. They needed shooters, not playmakers.
Not
I
even
think
that, but now they have Beniers and they have Wright. I don't know what their plan.
And they have McCann who can play center.
yeah,
Oh my god! So
it
yeah, you're going to put that much money in term on the third line minimum? Like that's crazy.
it screams of desperation, or they think that 2 of those guys are not centers,
Unless
which is
they
weird.
decide, hey, Shane Wright, not ready. AHL again, buddy. Have fun.
Yeah,
Like, I'm sorry.
which would be stupid, but
Yeah, he looked great in the final stretch. He had like 5 goals.
Some of
Unless
the
you
other
play Shane
contracts
Wright
that
at the
were
wing.
maybe they move Beniers to the wing. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff they could do.
I'd say move Beniers. His face-off percentage is rough.
I'm going right, dude. That kid can't move.
It's one of the two. Beniers, I just go it based off face-off percentage. Beniers was 45% in the dive.
Yeah,
He's also young and doesn't have the
he is
muscle
young.
strength quite yet.
And they have to extend Beniers still, which I don't know if they're bridging or long-term.
Probably bridging.
I'd say bridge. If it's long-term, they would probably also give him the captaincy, but oh well.
Yeah. Shout out the Leafs. That Ekman Larson deal is hilarious. No team ever learns. And that Tanev deal is going to spark controversy because it's going to end up with.
It's going to go on LTI.
But the league has already stepped in, saying that if they see circumvention happening, they're going to change the rules. So.
Oh yeah, because I think
it's
TBA
interesting.
is up in what 1 or 2?
I think it's 2026.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a topic of discussion. Yeah.
I like the Toffoli deal. I'm trying to just look at all
it.
the big ones.
I'm a big fan of the Toffoli deal.
Duclair and the Islanders is nice. Pesci to the Devils is nice. Not an overpay. All 3 guys the Nashville Predators got, I feel like they overpaid, but they have the cap space and they're cool. So
I think Shea's probably one of the worst contracts signed.
7x7 was incredibly stupid.
7x7 for a mid second pairing guy.
Shout out LA for Fogle and Edmondson.
Edmondson's bad. I think the
that's just terrible.
Zadorov.
Yeah, I was getting to Boston. Zadorov and
I think Lindholm's a perfect fit. I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah, that's
Zadorov. Like
they bought way too into the hype.
You're paying $5 million a year for a bottom pairing defenseman.
And the Columbus contract for Monahan is another one I just look at and go, 5 years, $5.5 million for a guy who has injury issues and really isn't.
And you don't need a center.
but he's also like just okay.
But
Like
he's
I feel
also
like
Johnny's best friend.
yeah, a lot of contracts I feel are going to age really poorly, and I think
This
some of
reminds
these,
me a lot of 2016.
yeah, which is why I'm not upset at some teams. Like as a
Doing
Sabres fan,
nothing.
seeing we gave one guy term and it was 2 years is perfectly fine. With
That's
Pittsburgh,
not even term. That's just a short deal.
I know, but it's the only contract that's not 1 year.
Yeah, that's why some teams doing nothing might have just saved
Yeah,
their asses.
Pittsburgh got a lot of really solid depth guys like Lazat, Aho, Grizzly,
All
Beauvillier,
term.
and
Forgot they got Aho. Yeah.
it's all really not a lot. So I don't see it backfiring, but there's a lot of contracts here that could really, really, really fuck a team up for a couple years.
Yeah. Gensel's is interesting. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that one's not even in free agency because it happened beforehand.
Depth wise, I don't even know what they're going to do. They're just going to stack the top line, or are they just going to
probably at this point? I don't.
And want to shout out Colorado. No depth.
Again, congratulations, Colorado. You're the exact same team.
Like, dude, they're actively going to push Parker Kelly.
Yeah. The
biggest signing was what? Calvin DeHaan or Eric Brandstrom?
I do like the Brandstrom.
I do like the Brandstrom move. Yeah. It's like, oh, another puck moving defenseman to Colorado.
Brandstrom, DeHaan as your bottom pairs, whatever. But like Calvin
DeHaan was actually good last year.
You got McKinnon, Rantanen, Middlestat, Lehkonen, Colton is your 5th highest paid forward, and they're trying to trade him.
Nishushkin.
They might be banking on Richie coming up.
Nishushkin's
from what I've seen, Richie's going back to the O. From what I've seen from Colorado reporters, Richie's going back.
I have no clue what they're doing.
Yeah, Nishushkin's in player assistance and Landeskog's still on IR. So, I mean, if they come back, their top 6 is disgusting.
Oh, yeah, that's why they couldn't do shit. Because
if they don't,
because Landeskog's coming off LCIR. That's why they couldn't do shit.
Bring back Drouin for a decent, like he had a really good year, so it's kind of whatever. But like your depth is Kiviranta, Kelly, and Kovalenko, and it's just
Chris Wagner.
Chris Wagner's not even on their team sheet. I don't even.
I'm on their daily face-off.
Oh, he's in their minors. That's why. I'm like, I don't see him anywhere.
Also, shout out. Also, one more signing I want to shout out. My goat got signed in Columbus on a 1-year deal. Jack motherfucking Johnson.
That's right.
Full circle, baby.
He is back. Get excited.
We just finished paying him off.
They did? Oh, you guys did? The GOAT is back in Columbus for 1 year. My king. Yay. The Stanley Cup champion. Are you ready to watch a Jack Johnson and Eric Goodbranson third pairing?
Yeah. I am. Oh. I feel so bad for their fan.
My GOAT is back. The Stanley Cup champion. Who actually improved his analytics last year, which is hilarious.
McKinnon tax, it's okay. They have 5 defensemen. Where's their 6? I forgot they bought out.
I mean, Matejchuk actually probably cracks the team, so one of them may 70.
Oh, Jirachek's not on their team. That's why.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Jirachek will probably be up there in Matejchuk.
Their top 4 is perfectly fine. Werenski, Severson, Provorov, Jirachek. And then
Provorov was the one who played the most games out of all their players.
And then it's Jack Johnson, Goodbranson. It's just like, this team is so stupid. They keep getting.
That's how you build a team. Jack Johnson, great locker room guy.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
All right.
I have nothing else to talk about. So,
Jacob, you want to send us out?
All righty. It's a good talk, boys. Glad to have you guys on again. It's been a while, and that's on me. But
we're not gonna go a month again.
Yeah. I'll be back in school by then, so hopefully we'll be a little bit more consistent.
Next month. Yeah.
But I'm on the road, but I'm glad to hop on with you guys. And yeah, so thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you guys hopefully a little sooner than this time. But yeah, we'll see you guys.